Swifty
the queen
Nation.
of the world.
Swifty Nation.
You got
stand
Donald.
up.
You got Donald J. Trump.
Stand up and flex.
Whoa.
Flex your Swifty muscles.
You that hard on the Swifties?
They won. You can't hate anymore.
True. But so if you didn't know, man, the Kansas City Chiefs have won back-to-back championships. Patrick Mahomes has 3 rings now.
And 3 MVPs?
And 3 MVP, 2 MVPs, I think. Yeah,
2 or 3.
2 or 3 MVPs. Comment down below if it's 2 or 3 MVPs. I mean, he's coming up there
he's
with
the next Tom Brady.
You think so?
I mean, he already has more championships than like a whole lot of good quarterbacks. A lot of the top quarterbacks will only have like 1 or 2. I think there's a handful with 3 or more. I mean, yeah, even look like from the past, besides Tom Brady, some of the quarterbacks that got the most championships is Eli has 2. I think Big Ben has 2.
Yep.
And then a whole bunch of other ones have 1. So you're in special company if you get 2, and not only to get 2, but to go back to back. That's way impressive. There hasn't been a back to back champion in a long time, in over 20 years.
Yeah, he got 3 and 3, third Super Bowl MVP.
He got the MVP too.
Yeah, he got the MVP too, and then on top of that, they're saying that ever since Tyreek Hill left the Dolphins, Patrick Mahomes is still winning. So
he's winning with scrubs. I mean, you can't take nothing from him. This is almost like when Steph Curry won another championship without Kevin Durant.
True.
I mean, he got his respect. Because, the first one they said that he won by himself was a fluke because every team they faced in the playoffs was injured and had heavy injuries. And then the other 2 they said didn't count because Kevin Durant joined and made it too unfair. He had 2 MVPs that were right at the same time on the same team. And then he finally won with the supporting cast, including Jordan Poole, until Draymond punched him in the face and off the team.
True, and then, I mean, people are saying that the only reason this is going on because, of course, Taylor Swift is the reason why the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. They weren't going to let her go all the way out there and not win the Super Bowl.
They had a lot of conspiracies because apparently it looked like at halftime that she was talking directly to the commissioner, Roger Goodell. And who knows, she might have put in, I don't care how much it costs. I'm a billionaire.
Facts.
If you need $50 million to have my man win this championship, that's what you need.
Facts. The crazy part, every time the Kansas City Chiefs made a good play, they made sure to cut to Ice Spice and Taylor Swift. And you see everybody's on Taylor Swift's dick now. I seen
God dang, co-host.
I seen Quavo in her booth. I seen Ice Spice was there.
Quavo's still mad about Sweetie.
I mean, hey, so you think he was over there trying to get Sweetie jealous? Because she was at the game on opposite team.
I would have consoled her after San Fran lost.
Because she's a 49er fan.
Exactly. I said I would have consoled her.
Horrible. And YG.
That's old news. He's a has-been. He's out the picture.
But how do you feel about the Super Bowl? Do you feel like it was worth it? Is it, or do you was it bland?
It was kind of bland. I mean, there was a huge stretch of the game where no one could get first down. So it was
half?
Like a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
Where no one could even get a first down. It was like Punt City. It was so boring that I literally went to sleep. We had a Super Bowl party at our bro's house, and I was just,
he was knocked out.
I was like, this is so boring. And then the second half, since I'd already been falling asleep, I mainly missed the second half. I did watch some highlights, and a lot of people say, San Fran just needs to upgrade at quarterback. They don't think that Purdy's the guy. A lot of people have been echoing that the whole season.
He's a game manager.
They say he's a game manager, not a game changer, exactly. And, a lot of people give Cam Newton hate, but you can't say that Cam Newton wasn't a game changer. You can't say that. He was literally like the next Michael Vick before, what's the guy that can't throw?
Tim Tebow?
No, his son.
Marcus Vick?
Lamar Jackson.
Disrespectful.
Shout out Lamar for getting a second MVP with no bling. I hope that you get 20 MVPs and never win a ring because that'd be much more hilarious. So keep on running during the regular season because until you build up that arm, you ain't winning in the playoffs.
True,
and don't tell me I'm a hater. I'm a Steeler fan, so he gets what he gets.
True, and
we hate the Ravens for life.
And then the way I feel about this game is Patrick Mahomes is just unbeatable. The way you have to beat them is you can't just like keep it close. When it's the second half of the third quarter, you have to make sure you 3 touchdowns ahead of him because
they were making it tough on him. Honestly, their San Fran's defense played pretty good the whole game.
just the last couple seconds.
They didn't really give up any oh man, what are they doing? They didn't have a whole bunch of those plays on defense.
It was that punt. You remember the punt that he muffed?
The muff punt.
If that muff punt, I think that if that muff punt didn't happen,
more often than not, people in close games in football, a lot of times, sometimes the special teams plays make the difference in the game when it's that close between the teams, and that's pretty much what happened here. I mean, you look at the final score, it's 22-25, and I don't understand why they were saying that like San Fran didn't understand like
the overtime rules,
the Super Bowl overtime rules had changed because it didn't affect what happened. They didn't score, and then Kansas City scored, so it wouldn't have changed anything anyways. So I don't know why they were saying, "Oh, we didn't know," and honestly, it was their job to know. So they just look like rookies for not understanding how things go in a Super Bowl.
And I know that the Chiefs were saying that they knew about the rules the whole time. They said ever since playoffs started, they've been talking about the rules.
They said they covered it in training camp. That the Super Bowl rules were a little different than any of the playoffs because the playoff rules are a little different than the regular season, and then the Super Bowl has a couple changes compared to the other playoff games. But I think the only difference in the Super Bowl and the playoffs is the overtime rules. Because usually if you score a field goal, or if it's overtime and if you score a field goal, the other team has a chance to score a field goal, or if they score a touchdown, they win. But in the Super Bowl, if you score a touchdown, the other team gets a chance to score a touchdown, and if they don't score, then they lose. So, I mean, that they were saying they might have done something different in overtime because if you win the toss, you might give the other team the ball because it's like, oh, if we stop them, then we'll have the confidence to score.
True.
Because all we would have to do is get like a field goal or something.
But yeah, you want to go second. Yeah, they were saying that you want to go second because you know what you have to do. Like, do you have to go for it? Just go for the fourth down, or do you can you kick a field goal?
Yeah, because you kind of know already what happened, so it makes your decision making easier. But I mean, because they're thinking like normal, like, oh, I want the ball first, because they're thinking if they score a touchdown, the game's over.
True.
But I mean, that's y'all's fault. I mean, literally, that's the head coach's. You have one job. Mm-hmm. You have one job, bro.
You have one job, and I mean, you see that they lost with Colin Kaepernick, they lost with Jimmy G, they lost with Brock Purdy. I mean, I don't know what the 49ers need to do to
get a real quarterback.
Probably get a real quarterback, but this next year's Super Bowl, let me tell you right now, man, the Philadelphia Eagles will be at next year's.
Oh, yeah. Not the Eagles. The Seahawks.
Nah, man. It's going to be the Eagles. Look
they
at
say the
green.
Chiefs are going to be back on.
What is the Green Bay Packers?
And then they said with this neon green that the Seahawks will actually have like a city-themed jersey next year. That will be that same neon green. It was announced that, of course, at the Super Bowl, they announced what they're going to do for the next Super Bowl. So it looks like that they announced that the next Super Bowl is going to be in New Orleans.
Hey.
And Lil Wayne has volunteered to perform there since that's his home turf.
You already know it's going to be the Queen, Taylor Swift?
And this is a new logo. They actually like to reveal the logo for the next Super Bowl a year in advance. And that's where all the conspiracies build. A lot of people thought it was going to be Kansas City, Baltimore, based on the logo for last year. But, of course, Baltimore didn't even make it because, Lamar Jackson's a scrub. But they revealed this next logo, and they got, it looks definitely like the Kansas City Chief red, but that neon is definitely a Seahawk.
It better not be the neon. Kansas City Chiefs again. I'm going to be so upset.
If they go for a three-peat, would they be the first three-peat in NFL history?
Man, listen, man, if that ever happens,
it'll be the Michael Jordan.
Tom Brady will come out of retirement just to slay Patrick Mahomes because he's the only one to play
some more balls.
You a hater. But I mean, with this whole Super Bowl that's coming out next year, some people are thinking that it may be Lil Wayne, it may be Beyonce because she come out with a country album, or it may be Taylor Swift because with the whole Travis Kelce situation. But this football,
who would you pick?
I'm going Lil Wayne. You got to go with Wayne in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Especially after the Katrina happened and all that stuff, you got to go with Wayne or somebody from New Orleans. It was crazy. Just don't do Kevin Gates.
We got a lot of Katrina kids in Texas.
Just don't get through Kevin Gates. But, I mean, comment below who would you like to see perform at the Super Bowl? How you feel about this football season? Was it up to par? I mean, I feel like it was the year of the backup quarterbacks. Like, if you didn't have a backup quarterback,
you're through.
You were
it was
through.
Like, who had the best backup quarterback?
True.
But then
It was the Browns with
Purdy
Flacco.
basically felt like he is a backup quarterback that started like from the get go, because he never felt like a true starter.
True, I can give you that.
But Mahomes did Mahomes thing. He's a superstar and he's at the superstar position, which is quarterback. And I feel like you need a star quarterback if you really want to win. If you don't, then you got to be solid in every other aspect of the game. But if you have a superstar quarterback, they can sometimes get you out of any situation. So shout out Patrick Mahomes, shout out the Chiefs, and I guess we have to say it. Shout out the Swifties.
Shout out the Swifties. Hey man, making billions for the NFL.
For making the NFL pop.
Exactly. But speaking of making things pop,
at least he didn't propose, man. A lot of people are thinking he was if they won.
I'm horrible.
Trying to steal the show too much.